Hello, this is Cynthia Dolan reporting on the proposal for the Windfall Grant for the years 2011 through 2014 for Wilson School. So before we can let you know what we're spending the money on, we really need to let you know what the mission is for this grant. The mission of Wilson School is to empower the students to become productive, educated citizens of the global society of the 21st century. We foster the production of healthy, creative, caring, and considerate members of society. For our first goal, we need to improve math and English test scores by 5% by the year 2014. So our first objective in order to do this is to train all the teachers to use the My Access program and Khan Academy to supplement the instruction in the classroom. So students can actually do some outside classroom learning, and teachers can actually flip the classroom and give the students more one-on-one time in the classroom. We will also provide other staff development as needed by paying for training and teacher time outside the normal school day. Our second objective here is to provide needed classroom materials to assist teachers in preparing and conducting lessons, including enough copiers to fill the needs of the school and class sets of Chromebooks in wheeled carts and other lesson supplements. Our second goal is to improve the classroom environment by completing some of the needed renovations by the spring of 2013. So our first objective here is to hire a roofing company instead of having our maintenance people repair things as they go. The roofing company will make needed renovations, put in a drainage system, and replace tiles that need replaced on the roof so that we can have as good a roof as possible, since a totally new roof is out of the question in our budget. We would also, as a second objective, remediate the mold issue. Parents have been complaining about students getting ill. Teachers have also complained about a funny smell in the room. So remediating the mold should improve test scores by improving attendance of students and of teachers. And this should help keep parents from pulling students to that new private school that we're worried about pulling too many students away. This remediation should be done prior to the start of the school year. Our third goal is to add the needed staff that we're experiencing a need for. So our first objective there would be to hire a PE teacher to provide the physical education that our students need and deserve so that they are healthy individuals. So that PE teacher would come in, would be there 2 days a week for each classroom for 30 minutes. And we would make the multi-purpose room available on the days with inclement weather so the PE teacher can take the students there. Second objective would be to raise the number of current counselors. We know children need counseling services. So we would raise the current part-time counselor to full-time and then hire another full-time counselor. Students can't concentrate on issues of learning when they're worried about home events and bullying and things like that. So this would help take care of that need. Okay, for the next slide, I'm just going to go real quickly over how we calculated our allotment, since the state gave us a rather complicated formula. These calculations will assume an equal distribution of free and reduced lunch students, and it assumes that all of our Title I students are receiving free and reduced lunch, so we aren't going to count them twice. Our minority breakdown is 17% African American and 42% Hispanic, giving us 51% or 59% minorities. There is no allotment given by the state for kindergarten, although if we had preschool, it would give us an additional $1,200 per student, but the school does not have a pre-K, and since we are very near capacity, we aren't planning to add one at this time. Grades 1 through 4 are $600 per student, giving us a total of $440,400. Grade 5 is $70,000. Our free and reduced lunch plus Title I lunch would be $69,420. Our minority allocation is $618,792 for a total allotment of $1,198,612 per year for this grant. There are some requirements given for the spending of this grant. A minimum of 50% each year has to go for improvement in instruction in math and English, and a minimum of 20% per year has to go for staff development and training to support new programs, new teacher induction, and improvement of instruction in math and English. Up to 2% per year are available for administrative costs. And as we do have to have an accountant to keep track of our spending and do our yearly budgets, we do have this administrative cost being a requirement. Some possibilities for how we spend the remaining money, up to 20% may be used for the creation of new positions per year. Up to 10% can be used for equipment that is over $500 per year. No more than 40% may be used on construction or renovations. Notice that this adds up to more than 100%, so some choices have to be made here. And to note on the new positions, that only adds up to 3.3 new positions being able to be created. What we have decided to do, since the new books and manipulatives were purchased last year, it's important to get teacher buy-in on any other new materials to be sure teachers will use them. So we're kind of holding off on deciding how to spend some of this money until teachers come back, but we know we're going to spend a certain amount on teacher training and new materials. It needs to be noted that any new hires can only be 3-year hires unless the district can support them by offering an incentive to retirement age teachers or fund the additional FTEs to keep those teachers once the grant is over. And then we have other possibilities for supporting the curriculum, might include purchasing SHMOOP for the school year and training teachers on Khan Academy. So for staff development and training, we're going to go ahead and spend that minimum 20%. That's $239,722. Individual conferences for teachers, we'd like each teacher to go to at least one conference through the year to expand their knowledge, and that would total $43,000 for the year. We would like to hire some consultants in reading and math, hiring some specialists to work with the students who are behind and support teachers in the classroom and train staff on reading and math techniques that students might respond to more favorably. This would also include some extra duty pay for training for the teachers after school. So the consultants would be $144,000 for the year, and the extra duty pay would be $27,722. We also want to support our new teachers with mentor visits. So that would be $5,000 in release time. And then a stipend for veteran teachers to mentor them would be another $10,000. Chromebook training for teachers prior to the start of the school would be $10,000. And classroom improvement of instruction with an emphasis on math and English has to be 50% of the grant. So that is $599,306. Part of the purchases for this would be Chromebooks and carts on wheels for all classes. That would be $344,000. My Access Writing Improvement Program with the training is $10,488. And then the remaining $244,818 will be decided with full staff input after the start of the school year. So that will be something that we have to decide on once all the teachers are back. Some optional spending that we've thought of. There's not enough remaining money to support full repairs in any of our needed areas. The district really needs to find a way to support these repairs and remodels by putting through a bond measure and having you, the public, support it. So please consider that if they come out with a bond measure. Just fixing the roof by putting on a new roof that is slanted and won't leak is $2 million. So we really need that bond measure to pass. Through creative listing, counselors might be able to come out of the classroom improvement portion of the funding. So we could put those individuals into a different area here possibly. The remaining balance is 28% here. That's $335,612. 4 copy machines would give us a total of 3,600,000 copies a year. That is approximately what we are using currently. That would cost $32,000. Repairs to the roof and mold inspection and remediation we have priced at $131,612. Increasing the current counselor to full-time and adding another counselor can be up to another $100,000 depending on the level of experience and training those counselors have. And hiring a PE teacher full-time can be up to $72,000, again, depending on their level of education and their number of years of experience in teaching, especially teaching in our current district. So that completes that optional spending. When we look at spending for the following year through 2013, 2014, there would be a lot more teacher meetings on how to spend this money, since we would have access to the full staff and can put together a few subcommittees that would make recommendations to the main committee. Additional training and continued mentoring depend on teacher surveys for effectiveness. We don't want to continue programs that teachers do not think are effective. Chromebooks were a one-time cost, so there would be additional improvement of instruction funds based on the first year experiences and conferences and the input of that windfall committee. Emphasis has to remain on math and English because that's where we really need to show our improvement. So we may make a call to the state to inquire as to whether the balance here could be spent on an air conditioning unit to make the the classrooms more conducive to learning. And if the state allows that expenditure, it would move into this improvement of instruction area. But we're going to assume for purposes right now that it is not there. So staff development and training remains the same 20% that it was previously. Individual conferences of the teachers we will plan on keeping. We will retain that contracted specialists for math and for reading to work with the students who are behind and train our staff in things like working with students with dyslexia and such. That is, again, continuing at the same cost. Mentor visits for new teachers and the stipend for mentors stays the same. Any additional requested training, we're putting another $10,000 in for that. Classroom improvement of instruction in math and English are still at 50%, so that has not changed. The My Access Writing Improvement Program, we would have to subscribe again this next year, and that's another $10,000 and some change. The remaining would be decided again with full staff input, and that administrative cost of 2% is in there as well. We would also spend some remaining balance on, again, the copiers. That is a lease agreement, so we would continue our lease. We would continue the current counselor and a half, continue the PE teacher, and we would also want to right here purchase a new energy efficient boiler. In order for air conditioning to work, we have to have a new heating system as well. For spending in the 2014-15 school year, again, many of these are continued expenditures. I don't want to bore you by going through them item by item when you can just look them over. We could afford in this year to purchase new energy efficient lighting for a portion of the school. To do the whole school is over $300,000, but we could do 1/3 of the school with what's remaining here for $131,612. So this is our proposal for how we're spending these funds. Please feel free to get hold of the school. Ms. Jordan would be happy to speak with you if you would like to call the school, or you can always email the school. Our website has all those links for emails and has the school phone number if you wish to contact Ms. Jordan yourself. Thank you very much for listening to our presentation and going through this, and we look forward to your comments and concerns.